Hi everyone, I wanted to give you guys kind of an introduction and a why as to my decision to do gestational surrogacy. Basically, my husband and I had no troubles conceiving both of our kids, and I had easy pregnancies, really great labor and deliveries, quick for my second and my son. He was 9.5 pounds and delivered him with a water birth, drug-free, and it wasn't the end of the world. And I know that this ability is really a blessing, and it's not something that everybody gets to experience. So after realizing how lucky I was, I decided, I think it was just after my son was born, I decided I would use my body to help another couple achieve completing a family. So basically, I've been looking at a few different agencies. One is Open Arm Surrogacy, and I'm working with a girl named Kelly, who is the coordinator, or the intake coordinator, and she is so great. She's so sweet. She is always there to answer my calls and answer my questions, and I really, really like them. I just got the contract and have reviewed it, but there are two other cycles that are in the midst, which are one is with a girl named Wendy, and I can't remember off the top of my head what her title is. But she kind of does it on an individual basis. She's not with an agency. And then the next is Premier Surrogates, and they are a sister company for an English United Kingdom surrogacy, something like that. As far as they go, they were really quick. Within 24 hours of submitting my application, they matched me with a couple. But I've only talked to somebody on the phone twice, and it's been to schedule my conference call with the intended parent, so nothing is for sure yet. I feel really great about Wendy and about Kelly. Wendy, like I said before, was the one who does it on an individual basis, not with an agency, and Kelly is the one who works for Open Arm Surrogacy. So when I make my decision, I will do a whole video about that and some of the contract information, if I'm allowed to. I have to ask the girls, but anyways, one of the things that really stuck in my head was when I was 16, maybe 17, but I know it was before I was married, so it was probably 16. I went to my gynecologist for an exam, and they were also a fertility clinic, and as we were walking through the hall, I was with my mom, we saw a couple crying. And I was like, Mom, why are they crying? And she said, well, they're on their fertility clinic side. Maybe, they probably got told that they can't have babies. And the image of that couple just stuck with me my whole life, because all I've ever wanted to do is be a mother and be a wife, and so the thought that that wouldn't be an option just was crazy. And I know that that's an option, that's not an option for a lot of people. They have to go through IVF and fertility treatments and Clomid and all these things, and so I just really, wanted to do something to help another family. I'm sure you probably know that you do get compensation for being a surrogate. It's not $1 million. It's not $100,000. It's a good chunk of change, but if you think about it, it really just covers maternity clothing, the extra vitamins, the extra food that you crave and consume when you're pregnant, traveling expenses, the time that you're going to miss from work, those kinds of expenses, as well as obviously after I have the baby, I have 2 kids, so my husband's going to have to take time off to help me with them as I recover from delivering a child. So it'll kind of help to cover that, and if I'm allowed to, once I sign my contract, I'll find out if I can kind of go over some of that information with you guys, because I'm sure you're curious if you're interested in doing surrogacy yourself. But yeah, I had applied at a couple of other surrogacy agencies, and they were all online applications, which took forever to fill out, and I got one of them. I remember just said, we can't take you right now because you don't have insurance that would cover surrogacy, and I thought, what kind of insurance would cover surrogacy? But I guess there's some type that does. Anyway, so I hear my daughter back there. So yeah, that's a little bit about why I'm doing this, and as I mentioned in my earlier video, I'll have to go through an IVF cycle, which will be interesting to say the least, because I've never had to do anything like that. So I will document it and vlog it for you guys.